be able to listen to me. Cedric, say something?
Something.
Yeah. So it all should work now. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Cedric Lundven and Alex Woleshnev. Cedric says today talk about DataStax Kafka Connector, and I'm mostly working as a talking head to voice your questions and so on. So, Cedric, it's all yours now.
Okay, thank you. So, good evening, good morning, everyone. I'm based in Paris. It's 7 p.m. here, so good evening to me. Today, we will have a look at DataStax Kafka Connector. I have something working on my station. We'll go through code and see how you can set up that thing and what it can do, what it cannot do. Starting with slides and then going very fast to demo and live coding. So first things first, white screen. I will start a bunch of Docker containers just to be able to start things. So first, I will start Kafka. Hey, what a surprise. It's a Twitch about Kafka Connector. We need Kafka. And Kafka always comes with Apache Zookeeper. This is a way Kafka managed to implement the distributed consensus. So to keep consistencies between nodes in a Kafka cluster. But here we got only a single node. So Zookeeper, Kafka. Okay, so far so good. And my demo is about stokes. I will take some stoke from internet using a web API now named Alpha Vantage. I will push event into Kafka, and I would like my event to go from Kafka to DataStax Enterprise. And as such, I need a couple of containers. First, the DSC server, DataStax Enterprise, latest version 6.7. DataStax Studio, which is a notebook tool, and DataStax Op Center, just for us to be able that uh, the server is well started and if everything is as we expect. So let's do that right now. I switch to my shell. It should be big enough. Tell me if it's not. What do you think, Alex? Is it big enough?
I think that's fine and pretty clear.
Okay, so I have a Docker compose here. So maybe I will open it just to have a look. So a lot of files here. So this is my Docker compose. So as I told, DSC server is here running. I set explicitly the data center name. Here I got the studio. Here I got Op Center, Zookeeper, and Kafka. And you see that I use the Confluent Kafka Docker image because it provides much more environment variables to set up to work easily in Docker. I used to use the Wurstmeister Docker image for Kafka, which kind of purely open source image, but it was not that strong, that efficient when it comes to speaking both with containers inside the Docker network and outside the Docker network. So here it is. Let's start that Docker compose.
While it's starting, I have a minor question here. Do you have materials for this stream published in open source so we may see the Docker, so we can see your files?
Okay, so everything, let me open a browser. Everything is available on GitHub. I always and only work on GitHub. So let's go to GitHub slash clun, CLUN, slash Kafka DSC. And you will see a couple of branches. And I will do the demo with driver 2 today. We will have another session in a couple of weeks to discuss about the new DataStax driver implementing reactive patterns, and it's driver 2. And my demo is set up both for driver 1 and driver 2. But latest commit are on driver 2, and I did not yet sync the driver 1 branch. So go to driver 2, and you can see the different modules I will use, and you can see that I will use this Docker Compose here.
Yeah, cool, thank you.
Okay, so let's see if everything is okay. So I use Kinematic for that. It's embedded, it's available in Docker Fork. Just go here and click Kinematic, and if it's not installed, it will ask you to install it. Please do it, because with that, you are able to see all the running Docker container without using command lines. So here we got DSC server, still starting, as we can see. We have the Kafka. Okay, this one is ready. AppCenter is ready, Studio is ready, Zookeeper is ready. So
Cool.
we're waiting for DSC to be.
Yeah, it will take some time. Cedric, we have a question meanwhile. Jeff asks, is that Confluent Kafka image free for development?
Yes, it is. Kafka in the Confluent images, you have Confluent. Let me show it again. The Docker, no, I need to open that Docker Compose file. This one. Here it is. You can see cp-kafka means you can use it for free in development mode. And you have also cp-enterprise-kafka. Those ones are still free for dev, but I think these ones are even free for production. I don't know if you get some support, but as long as there is no enterprise in the Docker image name, we can use that. I think this is also the reason why everybody is using Confluent images, because it's free to use as long as it's not the enterprise version. Oh, by the way, look at that. I need to define, the new Docker host, Moby. Docker has been renamed to Moby lately, and in latest version of Docker to handle the network. Sometimes you have to provide Moby, the alias Moby, as localhost. Otherwise, the container won't find each other in the network. Okay, what about now? Okay, should be okay. So let's switch to my brother, and I should have now ready to go. So AppCenter is not set up, so I will manage an existing cluster. So let's get started. I'm on the Docker network, so to be able to access the DSC server, I need to use the alias in my Docker Compose file. Again, wrong. I will shut down that just to be able to see. I don't want to save that. I just want to go to my Docker Compose. Okay. It doesn't want to be there, right? Okay. I want to open my Docker Compose, so let's open here. Never mind. So as you can see, my Docker service is DSC. So
and minor question here for those who may be not so familiar with Docker server, DataStax Enterprise server, you have command -s -g -k. So S and G stays for search and graph capabilities, and K is for
Spark.
Ach so. Okay, I see.
Yeah, Spark. S was already token. No joke here. So let's go back to the browser. So use DSC as hostname, connecting. Now AppCenter will ask me if I want to install the agent, AppCenter agent on the server. I don't, because I'm using a Docker image, and on the DSC server Docker image, we already have the agent installed. So cross finger, I should have my single node cluster available to work.
Yeah.
And I should also have my Docker, my DataStax studio here. And let's see if we get something. It's starting. Come on. Oh, and just to see, when you use AppCenter, AppCenter will create you a schema named AppCenter, and you can have all the backups and all the stuff defined in AppCenter available on DSC. So I think we're set up. I can go back to my slide. Okay, open up that slide, and now we have those containers up and running and those containers unrunning. So far, so good. So now, as I said, I will use one of the modules of the project called Kafka DSC Producer to look for stock value using Alpha Vantage Web API, get just a first values for something like 40 stocks code, and from that initialization, I will start to send some event to Kafka. Okay, it's easy. Maybe something to say. When I will start that component, it will create everything I need in DSC as well. Why? Just because it's easy for me to, as soon as I start my demo, any module of the demo, it will create the expected key space and table in DSC, just for you to be able to run that demo very easily. Don't have to run any script or anything. So let's go to Eclipse. Okay, so I have my project here. Go to the producer. So it's a Spring Boot application. And you will see that it will create not only table and key space, but it will also fill a table with stocks name. Okay, so here is all the stocks I would like to get from Alpha Vantage. So I will take all that stuff and put in DSC at initialization. So let's look. Let's have a look. Cross finger again. Woohoo! Here we are. It's starting. It should start. Come on.
Well, at least presentation is already very nice. Yeah.
Woohoo! Okay, so what
far
do we
it looks
have?
good.
No, it's not that good. Sometimes Alpha Vantage is pretty slow to answer.
Can't get data.
Let me try again. That call, maybe I'm doing too much stuff, Look at how many time does Alpha Vantage. Okay, now it's okay. Okay, now it's okay. See, I just restart and just now it's working. It all due to time, maybe to do some Twitch stream and maybe eating the timeout. So now I have the 43 stock sticks, and each 2 seconds or each second I will just change a little bit those data and push that into Kafka. So how do you see topics in Kafka? Well, Kafka provides you some command lines, and I have a bunch here. So you two ways to check the topics. So the topics is named stock ticks, like here. So
Yeah.
I can exec docker exec and go into the container. Maybe this is what I will do here. I see that it's not very good command line. So okay, stock underscore should be better. And okay, I think with that command line, we're good to go and see what's happening on that topic. Let me open another shell, make it bigger, okay, and execute docker exec. Okay, so each time I send 43 new stock here, that display will be updated. Hopefully, okay, so you see, it's going on and we got something here and there. If I go into DataStax Studio to see what's happening in DataStax, well, so far, nothing crazy. We have created a key space named Demo Kafka. We have a couple of tables, stock info and stock ticks. If I try to look at, so let's select the key space Demo Kafka. If I look into the stocks info, with that, oh, I do a select star because I know that table does not contain a lot of data. Never do a select star on Cassandra, please.
Yeah, I was making a speech on the meetup in Wien recently and we were talking about biggest Cassandra clusters like Apple one uses. If you would do that, something like that on an Apple cluster, you are going to end not very well.
Yeah, at best, your laptop will blow up because you reach out of memory. But at worst, it's a node that don't have any memory and could blow up. So stock info, we got the repository. Okay, nothing special, and stock ticks, which is actually the info we have in Kafka topic. Okay, for now, nothing here. So let's go back to our nice PowerPoints and open up. So, okay, here we are. I will start a second Java module, DSC Consumer, standalone Java stuff, and it will consume events coming from Kafka and pushing that into DSC. This is the first things you would like to do, doing your own consumer. And this is a Java stuff, but if you are implementing some SMAC architecture using Spark, Mesos, Akka, Cassandra, and Kafka, maybe you want to use Spark and explicitly Spark streaming to get info out of Kafka and push it into DSC. Anyway, you only need a runtime to poll the topics and push the data into DSC. So let's do that. Let's go and start the consumer if we can. It's going a bit crazy, a lot of things going on. So more and more stuff starting on my station.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, it goes good.
Okay. I think we're good. Let's take a look. So now maybe some events in the table. Maybe, oh, here they are. So, okay, nothing very great here. I just show you how to push some data into Kafka. Kafka has to read data from Kafka using two standalone stuff. But let's stop. Okay. If I can, again. Okay, so I'm able to stop both producer and consumer. Okay, so now they are stop. And I will truncate my table stock info.
Sorry, I didn't get the moment. Why do we need that?
Because I will change the way to consume event.
Ah.
And I want my platform to be as clean as I can, just to show you that I will get the event from another way.
Mm-hmm.
If I keep my table full, you won't see new stuff coming.
Yeah, makes sense.
Uh, okay, here they are. Oh, come on, why they are? I just truncate them. They keep coming. Come on. Is it stopped? It should be stopped. Okay. Did I truncate the correct table? Right. Okay. Maybe it takes some times to get that stuff executed. I think. Okay, now we are. Now maybe I just truncated the wrong table. Did I? Maybe so. Let's have a look. Maybe I trunked the wrong one.
Cassandra has a lot of tables for you. You can truncate all of them and we will start from scratch.
Okay, I just truncated the wrong table. It happened. And you know what? Each time I start the producer, I will refill that tables. It's magic, right?
Yep.
So never mind. So let's go back to the slides the last time. So I won't dig into the web UI for now. It will be a full Twitch session in the coming weeks about DSC driver and reactive driver. So I won't start with that. But hey, let's say that each time you get a new event, you will draw a nice curve live. So, but let's switch to second use case. I still keep my DSC producer, but now I would like to leverage on a new component. It's not new, but another component of the Kafka stack, and it's called Kafka Connect. Kafka Connect allow you, so it's in the Kafka runtime, right? It's an extra container, extra runtime, but it's in the Kafka world. You will be able to define sources and sinks. Sources are the way to capture some data from multiple sources. Could be a DMS like MySQL or Oracle, using stuff like CDC, change data capture. You can also get source from, existing GMS broker. It's a way to get some data into Kafka using Kafka runtime. I don't have source to show you today, at least in that demo, but I will do a demo next week when I will poll my SQL database using an open source tool called Debezium and push that into Kafka as a source. Never mind. Today, it's all about reading events from Kafka. So reading events and pushing elsewhere, it will be a sync. So this is why I always talk about Kafka sync. You have to understand that it's register a sync for Kafka Connect to be able to take events from Kafka and push into DSC. So what I will do, I will register a sync there and push that and just uh, let that sink do the work for me and push everything into DS Enterprise. So let's do that. But you know what? Maybe let me start again the producer, just to be sure that our table is filled as it should be.
Yeah, I also think that's a good idea.
Oh, okay. Again, the Alpha Vantage API is not happy. Let's do it again. Too much things going on. I may change the timeouts on the API call. I don't know. Maybe I'm also blacklist from Alpha Vantage because I I call them too much. I don't know. Or maybe I make something wrong with the API call. I don't know. So here we are, and it told me that table info has been filled. So hopefully it's now filled. Yes, it is. Okay. Right. Now I would like to start that Kafka Connect thing. As you can see, the Kafka Connect is yet another Docker component. And the reason why I didn't start it at the first place, well, we didn't need it for the first demo, but also when you start the connect and register thing using DataStax connector, key space and tables must already be there. Otherwise, as soon as the sync is registered, it will start, try to read some message, some events, and if the key space is not there, the default behavior now it's just shutting down the sync. So we are ready. DSC is ready. Events coming into Kafka topics. Let's have a look in the second Docker Compose file. So go back to the root of the project. So here is Docker Compose Connect. Wow, what a nice name, right? So that stuff is crazy, and you will like it, hopefully. So it's Kafka Connect, nothing fancy here. Look at the number of environment variable I have to put to make that stuff work. So again, and maybe it's the reason why everybody's using the Confluent stack. So it's CP Kafka Connect. So I need to set that the keys in the topics would be string and the values would be JSON. Mm-hmm. And why? Because in the producer here, when I define the way I would like my event to be sent to Kafka, I will just define a producer and I will say, oh, for the key, a string is all right. And for the value, it will be a JSON. And by the way, this is the reason why you saw JSON in the console when I did the Docker exec thing. So in a topic in Kafka world, a key, oh, you should be well aware about that if you know Cassandra. I think it's some kind of partition key because like in Cassandra, the same topic can be split in multiple nodes and you have to know which node to use to put your new values, and you use key like a partition key. And here the key is the symbol, which is the symbol of the stock. And if you look in the DSC table, again, it's the same partition key as the key in the topic. Best practice. Okay, let's go back to the connect. Okay, so internal and external are the same, string JSON. I disable the schema evaluation. There is yet another container image in the Kafka world. It's named Kafka registry. And if you are using Avro messages, you have to use the schema registry to be able to serialize and unserialize your message. But for JSON, it's optional. And I have already a 2000 thing running on my station. I don't need the registry to do my demo. I just disable the schema validation.
Well, you see, I'm not surprised at what all these things are running on your machine producing load. One thing I don't understand, I'm doing nothing, simply watching what you are doing, and I'm streaming and I have CPU load of 71% doing nothing. That's incredible.
Yes, it is. So all that is just set up the Kafka Connect. Then I would like to be able to use DSC Kafka Connect, right? So to download the DSC Kafka Connector, you have to go to academy.datastax.com on the download. I can show it to you if you wish.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Let's do that. Login. Login. Okay. Oh, don't see my status. Come on. My progress. Oh, no, no. Don't look at that. Okay. Let's go to download DataStax. Oh, no, I feel guilty now. Oh, okay. Let's go to
I'm
DataStax.
sorry, man. It's recorded. It's recorded
Oh,
now.
boy. Oh, God. It's the 6 dot stuff. Okay. Okay. And you see the Kafka connector is here, and the documentation and the download. Yeah. So nothing. I don't need the documentation here. So just download. You get the zip, and in the zip you will have a sample file, two configuration file, and the library. And so what I did, I just import the library in the folder jar here. I won't push that jar to GitHub because first we don't push jar to GitHub. It's the best practice, right? And I don't want that code to be there. So I will ask you to download that file and put that file here. I will maybe add a text file just saying you must insert that file here just to be sure. And when the file is here, I will mount a volume. Okay, let's say that Kafka sync jar should be mapped as DSC Kafka jars like that. And in the Connect plugin path, I will just add at the end, oh, by the way, if you need some plugins to use your sync, because sync is a plugin, just use as well that folder. And after that, it should all the classes will be loaded in the class path. Then, are you ready? This is a cool part. I have a small script in the Docker Compose. So it's just a small one. What does it say? Okay, to start your image. Okay, first, most of the time you just go and execute entry points.sh, which is the default one. And instead of doing that, I just explicitly create my own shell script just to tell Kafka Connect what to do when it starts. So I will look at that. I will bash -c just to work as not on the front end. So I will run Docker, okay? And so the Kafka Connect will start, okay? And I will wait until I can access the HTTP interface of Kafka Connect. Because Kafka Connect provides a REST API just to be able to register and unregister and to act on sync and source at runtime in the distributed way of using Kafka Connect. So what I did, I just wait until the REST API is ready. And once it's ready, so, okay, look at that. Once it's ready, then I will echo, okay, now you're ready. I will register DataStax Kafka connector. And Using the REST API, I will post using curl, well, the settings. So it's a JSON file, that's the name, and I will use that class in the jar. It's in the class parse. I will define the topics I need to read. Contact points, okay, Cassandra, you know what it means. The local DC, look at that. I specified the local DC name, and this is also the reason why I explicitly define the local DC on the original Docker Compose here, just to be sure we got a fixed data center name even using Docker images. Maybe time to times, it's not time to times, but in the first version of the Docker images, well, when you start the DSC server with only search enabled, that the data center name was search. And if you enable search and graph, the data center name was search graph. You know what I mean? It was dynamic. But if you explicitly put the data center name here, then it will work everywhere. And if you are doing some multi-node, using seed node or multi-data centers in Docker, by providing the DC name, you can do what you need. Okay, let's go back here. So this is the data center name, port, okay, a bunch of properties. I put all the properties available. I let them blank if needed. But no user password here. It's just my local station. No SSL. And here is the interesting part: mapping. So it's convention over configuration. So it's convention. So I will map topic. This is the name of the topic. So topic.stock. Okay. So this is a source, the topic name, right? And this is a destination. So this is a key space, and this is a table name. And here the explicit mapping. So if you look at I don't know if I still have my command line. Yeah. If you look at the JSON in the event, you get symbol, value date, and value. And value date, no underscore. But if you look in the table on the studio, on the stock tick table, you have value underscore date. Okay. It was just to test the mapping stuff. So if I go to the mapping, symbol, which is the symbol, which is the column name, is mapped to value. So not the key, the value dot symbol, value equals value dot value. This one is nice, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, I made it. And value date is, value dot value date. And here you say, I would like to write using consistency level local 1. I could say 1. I couldn't say quorum. I have a single node. TTL.
But you can say all.
Yeah, also.
Don't do it like this, guys. Don't say all.
Yeah, it's not the best availability option. Okay, you can also avoid to put some null in the tables, because when you insert columns as null, you create some tombstones. We don't want that, so we just say that null to unset. So if you don't provide mapping for a column, instead of inserting null, it will insert unset, which avoid creating some tombstone. Deleted enables. This one, well, I don't know what it means. Deleted enable. Well, maybe it will delete that stuff from the topic when it has been read. Maybe that. And if you look at the value on the JSON, it's a date, but with very specific date format, with the T, with the Z. So all that fancy codec stuff. It just, okay, this is the way you should read that date and put into DSE. And it was a bit tricky because I put some data using instant, the Java 8 instant class. I don't use date anymore. And when you serialize an instant using Java code, then you get some things pretty crazy and not what you expect. But so I put a little magic in Java code, and I also need to put some little magic here just to be sure that I will use the ISO local date. And sleep infinity, that means, okay, until that curl command is ready, wait. Actually, this sleep infinity is not used at all, actually. If the curl failed, it failed. So to run that Docker compose, so it's at the root level. I will just say Docker compose -f to provide a file name. Docker compose connect up. And I don't put -d, so the output of this container will be in the console, just for us to be able to see what's going on. So Kafka Connect is starting using the 2000 environment variable it needs. And okay, checking that Kafka is healthy, connecting Kafka, starting. You can see that at startup, Kafka Connect will scan all the classes in its class path, and will try to look anything implementing connector. And so it found sync and source. And this is my nice small script. Okay, so now Kafka Connect is ready, listening on 8083, loading sync connector. It's slow, but my laptop just doing a million things. We can actually read the log.
It looks like I listen your laptop fan.
Yeah. Yeah. I gained 2 degrees from the beginning of the session in the room. I don't need any air conditioner here right now. Come on. Okay. Okay, using DataStax driver. Did you see it?
Yes, sure.
Did you see it? The curl, and yeah, it's still loading. It should stop soon. As soon as, oh, what did he say? Internal DSC sync, it's not happy. Cassandra timeout during simple write at consistency level. One replica. I'm doing too many things. Just timeout. What the hell? Oh, so we won't get any timeout. Come on. Okay, is it okay now? What do I have in my table? Do I have something or anything at all? Oh, some events are okay, some are not. It's look like the first one was timeout, and now okay, we're good to go. So if something is wrong, then it will just log an error and go on, because the error is as one. And now it's keep going and pushing some events into, because I don't have any new logs, so it's successfully pushing new stocks into Kafka now. Well, I can restart that stuff and it will read again all the events in my topic. So for that reason, you should have your queries to be idempotent. You should be able to insert multiple times the same event in Cassandra should not be a big issue. And this is the reason why you should put some explicit part of the message, JSON message, as colon for Cassandra, and not using TTL or some metadata of the Kafka event to be used and insert into Cassandra tables. But I think so. And here we are. So provide the jar for Kafka Connect, register the sync using the REST API. If you don't use REST API, you can provide all the same settings, providing a property files on the Kafka Connect machine. It's called standalone deployment. But if you have Kafka Connect in multiple nodes and high availability, well, you have to put that as a JSON like here and post the settings, and all the nodes of Kafka Connect will be able of that config and start to do the same. And that's it for my demo today.
Great job. That's very interesting, yeah, and very looks to be very simple if you know all the JSON configurations you need to do.
You can iterate a couple of times. And the longest was to generate that nice script to be able to run that demo only using containers, and you don't have to install Kafka Connect on your station. I really want that stuff to be able to run out of the box. So start the Docker Compose, start the consumer, the producer, and then start the Docker Compose Connect, and boom, you should be able to see what's going on.
Yeah, that's great. What the hardest thing for you preparing this demonstration was to basically make a simple run for the Kafka connector or something another? What was the hardest for you?
In that demo, the
Yep,
hardest to do,
yep.
the you know let's okay, once everything was set up and now I know how to put that, just follow the installation steps and put the connector available for connect, do that script was a bit tricky, but also what, the mapping, I maybe try the mapping, even if it looks very simple here, the mapping, man, it took me at least 6 or 7 times to make it work, just because my stupid value date was not an underscore, and the instant was serialized not as a proper Java date, but using fancy serializer to work with JSON. I have to say to Jaxby, come on, Jaxby, you will have to work with Java 8. Even if Java 8 now is a bit old, you use Java 11 already, but say, okay, Jackson, you will have to use Java 8. So, and after that, it was happy with that. So I got my nice date. And after that, I didn't understand why I got value date on one side and value underscore date on the other side. But never mind. When I finally see my JSON using the nice Kafka like here, I just, oh man, it's value date with the uppercase, not value underscore date. Okay, I did it.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes. Uh, fix me if I'm wrong. In general, DataStax Kafka Connector is mostly new thing. It was released like last year, or
Yes, it was
I'm
part of the Yes, it was part of the 6.7 distribution. So it was released mid-December 2018. And nice things is that connector is available not only for DataStax Enterprise, like I show you, but also for DDAC. DDAC, which is a DataStax distribution of Apache Cassandra, some kind of Cassandra-only runtime. You can as well use the connector if you use DDAC.
Yep. So, I guess that's all for today. Can
No
you?
questions on the chat? I don't see the chat right now.
Yeah, I see the chat. If there would be any questions, I would ask you. But
Okay.
we have some spectators right now, as I see. So it looks like you are explaining everything very clear. Congratulations.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So, thank you, Cedric. Guys, Cedric publishes a lot of useful things regularly. So, if you want to hear more from him, subscribe his Twitter. I believe that's the best way to contact you.
Yes, that's it. And remember, we are doing Twitch live every Monday, same times, maybe one Monday every 2 weeks, depending on what content we can have. So also subscribe on the Twitch channel just to be able and get notified each time we have new content to share.
Yep. So, your Twitter ID is C. Lunvan, if I remember it correctly.
Yes, put that in the chat if you wish. Yeah.
Exactly, just did that. Good, so now we have it stored in the video, and it was great. Thank you so much, Cedric. I've learned a lot today. I had no experience connecting Kafka with Cassandra or DataStax Enterprise. Now I see how it works, and with you, it's now much easier, especially as you highlighted the most important configuration issues you've met. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Okay,
I
guys.
think, yeah, we are done. Have a good day and have a good time. It was Cedric Lundven and Alex Volochnev together for DataStax Academy Developer Advocates. Have fun, all the best.